The Families First Coronavirus Response Act, the FFCRA, is an economic stimulus measure that temporarily mandates covered employers to provide eligible employees with paid sick leave and paid family and medical leave for certain qualifying reasons related to COVID-19. The FFCRA also allows employers to claim payroll tax credits to cover the cost of required leave, among other provisions. In this video, we'll walk through how to schedule FFCRA leave and claim applicable tax credits in Justworks. Please keep in mind that the FFCRA leave flow in Justworks is for the purposes of recording paid leave only. To learn more about the FFCRA and what it means for you and your team, please visit our Help Center. First, find the employee you wish to schedule leave for by going to their profile for Manage Employees. You will now see the option to schedule FFCRA leave from the top menu. Once you click into that, you'll see the two options of leave type: emergency paid sick leave and emergency family and medical leave. Since these two leave types are different, we'll walk through each one by one. First, we'll start with emergency paid sick leave. The FFCRA mandates that employers with fewer than 500 employees provide 80 hours of emergency paid sick leave to full-time employees who are on leave for any of the qualifying reasons listed below. You should only use this flow to record paid leave for one of the qualifying reasons under the FFCRA. The reason you select can impact how much the employee will receive in leave pay, so it's important to answer accurately. Once you select the reason, you'll enter a start and end date for the leave. The earliest start date that you can select will be April 1st, 2020, as that is the effective date for the paid leave provisions under the FFCRA. You can schedule an employee for non-consecutive leave using Justworks. For example, you can schedule leave from April 1st through April 5th, and again from April 10th through April 13th. In order to add non-consecutive leave, go through this flow again for each time period. As mentioned, full-time employees are eligible for 80 hours worth of emergency paid sick leave. Part-time employees are eligible for a leave amount that equals their average amount of hours worked over a 2-week period. Employers can choose to pay only the amount they are required under the FFCRA, or they can choose to top up that amount if the employee's regular pay is more than the FFCRA's caps. Note, however, that an employer cannot claim FFCRA tax credits for any pay that is above the cap. Depending on the reason for leave, your employee will receive either the regular workday's worth of pay, up to a daily cap of $511, or 2/3 of their regular workday's worth of pay, up to a daily cap of $200. Alternatively, you can select federal leave pay and extra company funds. Here, depending on the reason entered for the leave, companies can enter a percentage of over 67% of the employee's regular workday's worth of pay. This results in more leave pay for the employee. Next, you will need to select which days of the week this employee typically works. Note that the amount of days selected here will directly impact the calculation of leave pay, so it's important to enter the schedule correctly. You'll also need to put in the average amount of hours worked for each workday and the average amount of additional wages this employee receives. These additional wages could be in the form of tips, commissions, or bonuses. Once you've input all the information, you will be required to certify that all leave requested and resultant tax credits are qualifying, that you have collected all required documentation in order to complete your submission on Justworks. To read the IRS's guidelines on the required documentation, visit our Help Center. Once you've agreed to the terms, you can select Schedule Leave. You'll see a success banner at the top of your screen confirming that the employee's leave is scheduled in Justworks. Next, we'll go through scheduling the other type of FFCRA leave, emergency family and medical leave. To record this leave type for any of your employees, you'll follow the same workflow as earlier. Find the employee you are scheduling leave for and select Schedule FFCRA leave. The emergency family and medical leave applies to employees who have been at the company for at least 30 days and are unable to work, including telework, due to their child's school or place of care closing for reasons related to COVID-19. When you select this option, all other leave options will be grayed out. Under the FFCRA, the first 2 weeks of emergency family and medical leave are unpaid. However, the employee may use the emergency paid sick leave to cover this portion. If your employee is taking 2 weeks of unpaid leave under the emergency family and medical leave, you should not record those 2 weeks in this flow. Weeks 3 through 12 must be paid at 2/3 of the employee's regular pay, capped at $200 a day and $10,000 in aggregate per employee. Once the date range has been entered, you'll be able to select the employer's contribution to the leave pay. Here, the options are the same as what they were for emergency paid sick leave. Employers can contribute the federal leave pay only, which is 2/3 of an employee's daily rate, up to a limit of $200 per day, or an employer can contribute company funds above the daily cap, up to an employee's full daily rate. Next, you will need to complete the work schedule and wages section, as shown earlier. Before hitting submit, you'll have to click to agree to the terms and conditions we discussed before. Once you click and hit submit, you'll see the green success banner on top of the employee's profile. Note that the leave type will be specified here, so you'll know whether they have emergency paid sick leave or emergency family and medical leave scheduled.